So I have to start with a confession. And it is a little embarrassing as somebody who is a health psychologist, but I have a podcast that I love listening to, Crime Junkie. I don't know if you guys know about it, but I do love it. And it's really, no, it's all about people killing people and having to discover the killers or not discover the killers or whatever. But I really love listening to it. Comes out every Monday. And the truth is that I have made myself one rule about it. I'm only allowed to listen to it while I'm walking. I can't listen to it while I'm doing dishes or cleaning, but only when I have my dog's leash in my hand, sneakers on my feet, and I'm out the door. So here's the one thing I have to talk to you about. I struggle with movement. And yet I know that I talk about it all the time. Movement is king. I've made a t-shirt about it because I do know that movement is. And I know that on the days I don't want to walk, when it's raining or it's cold or I'm tired or my knees are bothering me, it's not the discipline that'll get me out the door or the commitment to moving every day. I want to do the podcast, listen to it. So I know what happens. I'm not dragging myself out to exercise. I'm doing it to listen to the podcast. And so I'm learning something that I need to put in place for myself rewards because I need a little silly reward because if not, I'm going to not do it. And so I thought, what's the research on this? Because I want to understand the research and I really was amazed at it. And I didn't understand that it's one of the most studied ideas in all of behavioral science. So I want to share with you what stopped me cold about research. And that the one thing, as we'll discuss in the latter part of this episode, is that giving yourself a reward can have traps, which I think I've fallen into at times. So please, if you are involved in finding it a struggle to make yourself do more movement or exercise consistently, or you're just a little bit like myself, you're doing just a little bit, but you need to do more, please subscribe. I'd love to see you here each week. I'd love it if you'd like or share or anything that would help support me in this journey to encourage myself and others to be the best version of who we are into our 80s and 90s. Why is it that reward can be both a good and a tricky problem? Well, when we're treating ourselves and we understand this is the reward and that you can do it in certain ways, it can be a slippery slope. And I've fallen down the slippery slope when it comes to, oh, I went to the gym 3 times this week, so I can have ice cream and cake, or I can eat a little more than what I've normally eaten as far as calories are concerned. Today, I really want to find out why, if we do want to give ourselves rewards, they need to be very thoughtful so that you don't give yourselves the trap that can happen with rewards and that you don't end up playing a mental game with yourself. So I think we all know exercise is really important. Sitting is death and you need to move. And they talk about, and I've talked about it too, making exercise snacks and you've got to do things for balance and strength. And you know what? There's just not enough. I think there's just not enough that we don't understand about the fact that we need to do more movement. But it's hard to stick to it. And it's not that we have a flaw. I don't feel flawed, but it's somehow in my brain. I resist. I resist doing any more than what I'm doing now. So just so that you understand, our brain is wired to overvalue what is happening right now. and undervalue the reward we get later. And that's really the investment that we're making. And it happens both in finances. We have to do today something on small steps, small levels, so that in the future, we will have a larger reward. It's the same thing with the marshmallow. I don't know if you know about the marshmallow exercise or research that was done with children where they gave a child a marshmallow and said, if you'll hold on and not eat those marshmallows, I'll be right back and you'll get more marshmallows. You know what? That's a flawed study. What can I say? There's nothing that says those people who can wait and get more marshmallows in the future are much different than the person who eats that marshmallow the minute the parent out of the room. But we do need to know that we do value what we're doing right now. I know many times I've said, I may die tomorrow. Let me have my ice cream. And yet right now I'm doing a 90 days no sugar. And today is number 5. It hasn't been easy, I have to tell you. And now I'm trying to tackle the actions of movement because I really want to do something so that exercise and what I know is going to be beneficial in the long term, the future stronger legs, the future stronger heart, the future less painful knees, avoiding knee surgery, all of these things, better balance, just the rewards for movement are tremendous. Better cognitive function, all of these can happen, but it doesn't happen today. What happens today is we want to do whatever it is that we need to do so that future reward of improvement in our physical self shows up. And the investment right now, if we're not doing it, guess what? You're not going to have the future reward. And our brain prioritizes immediate rewards over those delayed ones. Our bad habits tend to deliver those instant payoffs, while good habits like that intentional exercising and movement or doing those certain leg lifts a certain time, that slowly accumulates and you have this amazing delayed reward. So there is this gap when it comes to our behavior. And we need to understand how we can help ourselves so that we can have a reward that builds a habit that feels immediate. So that at the end of the month, not when the weight comes off or we're feeling stronger, but actually when we're actually doing the activity, we feel a reward that feels immediate. So that's why I know that the one days that I know that the Crime Junkie's on, I think sometimes it's twice a week. I even watch their one that's called The Deck. Those are twice a week. But I struggle on the other days to find podcasts that I'm just as crazy about. So I'm looking for that reward that I know that I can have only when I'm moving. And what is your reward when you're moving? There's a behavioral scientist named Katie Milkman, and she gave a group of people a wonderful, engaging audiobook, the kind that's addictive, with the one simple rule. They could only listen to it when they were at the gym. She called it temptation bundling, pairing a want that you crave with a should you've been avoiding. And her results were really very remarkable. In her experiment, people who could enjoy only their page turner in the gym went to the gym 51% more often than the control group over a 10-week period. That's a large number of people who went to the gym to listen to their page turning audio. Now, granted, I don't know if she measured what they did at the gym or how long they stayed at the gym, but at least it got them in the door. And we know that by building habits, by starting with just getting us in the door, that really, truly is half the battle. That's our deal. Not a magic pill. It's not a magic solution. But they do know that over time, even in that same study, that the reward of showing up, did decrease when a holiday showed up or somehow a person's routine was upturned or turned over. This is the key. We need a clue of some kind when life interrupts us that we know that we need something more than willpower. We need something that engages us and makes us, it's almost paired with the movement. You know, you're going to get to do this one really good thing while you're also doing this other thing that you avoid. So, whatever that is, it listening to your favorite playlist, an audiobook? Maybe it's giving yourself a special purchase, like a blouse or a pair of shoes after you've done the reward that day. Anything that is going to help you take this want you have for what you enjoy and join it with the should, which is the movement. And really, that's the thing that's going to keep us engaged, no matter how our schedules get disrupted. So if you're pairing exercise with something that you love to hear or do, why don't we go all in and pay ourselves or promise ourselves a big prize? The science will also tell us, and I've fallen prey to this too, that we have to be careful when it comes to this idea of over justification of our reward because we did what we have avoided. And it can really backfire. I know it has for me. I do it all the time sometimes. I justify myself by having larger portions or more sweets because I'm telling myself, oh, I did that wonderful thing. So believe me, that really can shoot you in the foot. You have to be careful because your brain can get used to that. Instead of saying, I walk because I love it, you're walking because you know that you're going to get some extra food or some extra money, or you're going to spend something. And in the end, sometimes those rewards that are really concrete and tangible, they're not the best. We can trick ourselves and we over reward ourselves. And it just doesn't really keep us with that engaged idea. So we need to figure out something somewhere in the middle. And we need to understand that a trap from these types of rewards, they make us go backwards and they end up making us less motivated than the previous way of engaging. This bribing yourself just doesn't work. It takes some of the original enjoyment of looking forward. As human beings, we love to look forward to things. I know every Monday when Crime Junkie comes out, I'm looking forward to it. I can't get my phone and the leash and my tennis shoes on fast enough to get out the door and walk the dog and listen to Crime Junkie. And their episodes are a good 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So believe me, I'm out there listening. But I need to be realistic and make sure that I am giving myself a wonderful, tangible reward and that I don't need to do something that is about larger portions or giving myself a big financial treat or something. But I think giving myself something that I really love to do or listen to or enjoy is something that's going to make me go the distance. And right now, I think I'm working towards how can I find something to watch while I'm lifting weights? Because frankly, lifting weights is boring. I hate lifting weights. I hate going to the gym because I don't know. There's something about the gym atmosphere that does myself. I really am pulling it together because at the end of the day, I know that movement is king for our health. And I know that this process of pairing my movement with something that I know I enjoy is going to give me a motivation to stay engaged. So when you're thinking of your own process of how you stay engaged with running or moving or walking or lifting weights, I think there are some people who come by it naturally. I always look at my brother-in-law who loves to run at the end of the day. I think he gets a reward by how he feels. It does something for him. I wish I was one of those people. I'm not. There is something about it that just doesn't, I don't know. It just has never been something that I get a lot of physical enjoyment. I have noticed by doing this small activity in the morning, which is this whole leg routine, my knees are hurting less and I do feel a little stronger in my legs. And so I'm really reminding myself of how engaging in this daily activity that's only about 15 or 20 minutes, and then following it with listening to my podcast and going for a walk. Those are something that I can definitely count on. So, how are you rewarding yourself for the types of things that you want to make happen in your life that involve movement? Are you doing something that gives you enjoyment? Is there a playlist that you're playing? Is there something that you do that makes the stress just fly off your shoulders? I know that all of us struggle with any type of thing that we want to do to make ourselves healthier. But pick one, pick something that you really enjoy and you like doing to go with a movement that you're planning. And I think that you'll find that the time passes faster than you think, and you have something that you're looking forward to. Two key things to bundle with your workout. And doing it immediately is wonderful. That is the truth, is you're getting to listen immediately or do something immediately that makes you feel enjoyment, despite the fact that you may not like going out and doing the exercise. I'm skipping any kind of food reward. And if I have an interruption, like the holiday, or I don't feel well, or really the weather is that bad, I'm not going to let myself off the hook. I'm going to say, hey, wait a minute. I've been saving this podcast or this playlist or this audiobook, and now I can go and act on it. I have to do this because, frankly, I'm struggling. So that's why I'm embarrassed to share this. But I think a lot of us struggle with exercise. And I always have really treated exercise like I owe this to myself. It's some kind of grind, or I know that it's something that you should do. I really want to change this. I really want to make this movement that I start to incorporate into my life the reward. I'm really working hard to take notice of the things that feel like they're changing as I move forward in my life to improve my physical self. So remember, my friends, we have this one precious life. Let's live it to the fullest. So remember, we are always doing the very best we can. And I think that we're not always perfect. I know I'm not. But please check out the website, and I'll have this wonderful Reward Yourself Smarter checklist that you can have for free as well. Be well, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.